Okay, so now we're going to submit our A2P registration for our phone number so that we can send automated text messages through the phone number that we got. So in settings on the left-hand side, we're going to go to phone numbers, and we see that we need to do the A2P 10DLC registration. So we're going to do that. We're going to click Start Now, and there's a brand portion and a campaign portion. The brand portion is confirming that your business registration information is valid and matches what's submitted with the IRS. And the second is the campaign, so the use case of why we're using the number. They're going to verify these things independently. So the reason that we need this is because, as we can see, effective August 31st, 2023, all SMS and MMS messages sent to U.S. phone numbers using 10 DLC phone numbers will fail if not registered with an application to person A2P campaign. So if we don't get this registration done, cell phone carriers are going to block or filter out our messages so they don't go to our leads and clients. So we need to make sure that we register our business with this database. So we're going to click on Start Registering Now, and the first part is the brand. So we just want to make sure that all the information that we filled in on the business profile matches. So we'll go through these first couple of questions, and they should mostly already be pre-filled in. Is the business entity you're registering located in the U.S.? Yes. Does the business you're registering have a tax ID? Hopefully the answer to this is yes, and so we're going to say yes, it does. If you don't have a tax ID, you can register as an individual, but the process is a little bit different. So we're just going to look at this and verify that the information is correct and matches exactly what's registered with the IRS. We'll click Next. And again, the business addresses, make sure this is your registered address and your authorized representative information is correct. Now we can do low volume or high volume, and low volume allows us to do up to 6,000 segments per day. So we're going to start with that one. And we'll click I acknowledge, and there's a one-time fee of $20.95 when you get the registration done. And then additional campaign fees up to $12 per month will apply in accordance with TCR rules. We're going to click Continue. So it says the campaign use case is low volume mixed, and now it asks for the use case description. What are we using this for? If we go over to See Example, there's some example text that we can fill in here, and we'll want to select one that most closely matches what we're trying to do. If people are booking appointments, like for sales calls or other meetings, you can use this top one, sends appoint information. This one says the campaign will be used to reach out to customers who signed up for the updates via SMS. And this one is to reach out to clients who have opted in to receive messages. So for this one, because it's a newsletter, we could use either of these two. So we'll use the bottom one. So we'll hit copy, and then in here, we'll paste it. But we want to make sure to replace the company name to match what our company name is. And it's important that this information matches because people will check this information and your campaign will be declined or denied or rejected if it doesn't match. So now we're saying that the campaign is going to be used by the business to reach out to clients who have opted in to receive messages. And now we'll provide a sample of what those messages might contain. So again, we can click on See Example. In this case, it gives us about reminders or appointments. And so we'll just copy this and paste. And then we need to include a lead name, our name, and the business name, and opt-out language. In this case, we'll replace with the name from someone from the business, and then from the business name itself. And in this case, I'm going to just say, thank you for signing up for our newsletter. That's it. And I'm going to delete that and leave reply stop to cancel because we need the opt-out language. And then I'm going to copy that. It says sample message 2. So I'm going to do the same thing and just change this letter slightly. Forgot to put the lead name here. We can just use whatever. Just putting names in there. So we have lead name, our name from the business name, and opt-out language. If we're including links to scheduling, we'll put the message will include an embedded link. And then we'll want to make sure that link actually goes to the scheduling page. And again, people will check this and reject it if that link isn't live. In this case, I'm going to unselect that because we're not including links. And I'm going to uncheck phone numbers. We're not telling them a number to call for anything like rescheduling. If you're offering a reschedule and you say, go here to this link to select reschedule or call this number to reschedule, make sure the number is valid, make sure the link is valid. And then we're not including age-gated content, and it's not content relating to direct lending or other loan agreements. We'll leave those unchecked. So now we're going to click Continue. And now it wants to capture our user consent process. So it wants to see how users are opting in. In this case, we have an opt-in page. So I'm going to copy the sample language and paste it in here. And it says end users opt in by visiting. I need to replace this link with the actual link for the sign-up process. So I put the real link to the sign-up page in there that has the opt-in language where it says, I agree to terms and conditions by the company by providing my phone number. I agree to receive text messages from the business. Again, the people that are approving these campaigns will check these links, and if that information isn't there or the links don't work, your campaign will be rejected. So it goes on to further say users check a box to receive notifications and promotional messages to provide their consent. And I'm just going to take off this last piece because we don't have a way to text the opt-in. Then it just wants the opt-in message. So it must contain the business name and opt-out keyword. So I'm going to go to sample, copy this, paste it, and says you have successfully opted in to receive notification and promotional message from, and replace with the company name. And then please reply stop if you need to opt out in the future. We need that in there because we need the opt-out keyword. And this needs to match what your actual opt-out is, and we'll check that in a second. So now that's it. We're going to submit. So now it says we've successfully submitted, and it shows that the brand is in progress and it's being reviewed. And once this passes, it will move on to the campaign for review and approval. So as I mentioned, the opt-out language needs to match. And so we have over here in business profile, I want to come down and make sure our SMS compliant by adding an opt-out message. So we want to make sure that's checked. We want to make sure the SMS is compliant by adding sender information. So this will have the name of the business that it's coming from on the first text message. And then we want to make sure our emails are compliant by adding the unsubscribe link. So those should be checked by default. So that's it. We've submitted our A2P campaign registration. If you want to check the progress at any time, go over to phone numbers and click on Trust Center, and we can see the progress of that campaign registration.